The Adventures of Zane and Max, The Quest for the Golden Controller. Zane and Max were the best of friends, and there was one thing they loved more than anything else in the world: video games. They weren't just any gamers, they were the ultimate gamers. They could beat any level, unlock every secret, and even find the hidden treasure in games no one else could. The only problem? They weren't very good at turning the console off when their parents told them to. One sunny Saturday, as Zane and Max were halfway through their marathon of Galaxy Monkeys Banana Battle, something strange happened. Their game froze, and suddenly, the TV screen started to flicker. Then, in a puff of pixelated smoke, a golden controller appeared out of thin air. "What is that?" Max asked, his eyes as wide as dinner plates. "I dunno," Zane replied, "but it's shiny. And I love shiny things." Suddenly, the golden controller spoke, and it sounded like a wise old wizard who ate too many cookies. "Zane and Max, you have been chosen for the greatest gaming adventure of your lives. You must enter the world of games and find the legendary golden controller of power. But beware, for many challenges lie ahead." Max blinked. "Wait, did that controller just say we have to enter the game world?" Before they could argue, they were sucked into the TV screen with a loud whoosh. When Zane and Max opened their eyes, they weren't in Zane's living room anymore. They were inside Galaxy Monkeys. Their arms were suddenly covered in spacesuits, and they each had a banana blaster strapped to their backs. "Whoa! We're in the game!" Zane exclaimed, bouncing around like a monkey himself. "Yeah, but check it out," Max said, pointing to their feet. "We don't have legs. We have banana peels." Sure enough, both boys looked down to find that they were slipping and sliding all over the place. Every step they took made a whoop sound as they skidded uncontrollably. "This might be harder than I thought," Zane muttered as he spun in circles, trying to get control. Their first mission was to defeat the Banana King, a giant monkey with a crown made entirely of banana peels. "You shall never find the golden controller," he roared, throwing bananas like they were grenades. Zane had an idea. "Quick, Max! Slip on the banana peels and spin attack." The boys skidded towards the Banana King, arms flailing like windmills, and knocked him down in a banana-splitting crash. "Nice one!" Max shouted. Just as the Banana King exploded into a shower of bananas, the ground started to shake. The voice of the golden controller echoed through the air again. "You have passed the first test, but beware. The next level is not for the faint of heart." Zane and Max were zapped into the next level, Donut Dragons. They stood in a candy kingdom, surrounded by sprinkles and jelly rivers. "This is the best game ever," Max drooled, eyeing the giant donut dragons that flew overhead. But this level had a twist. Instead of banana peels, they had donut feet. Every time they tried to run, their feet got stuck in the gooey frosting. The only way to move fast was to roll like a donut. "Let's roll, buddy!" Zane shouted, curling into a ball. Max followed, and they rolled around like two giant donut holes, knocking over sugar castles and avoiding fire-breathing sprinkles. It was sticky business, but they defeated the Donut Dragon King by launching themselves into his jelly belly. Covered in frosting and sprinkles, Zane and Max finally reached the last level, the Lava Nacho Volcano. "This looks dangerous," Max said, staring at the molten cheese rivers and flying tortilla chips. They had cheese boots now, which made every step super sticky. "The challenge?" They had to jump over rivers of nacho cheese, dodge flying jalapenos, and stop the evil Nacho Wizard from stealing the golden controller. With some epic jumps and a few close calls involving flying cheese, they made it to the top of the volcano. The Nacho Wizard was waiting, stirring a cauldron of spicy queso. "You will never win the golden controller," he cackled. Zane and Max knew what they had to do. They grabbed giant tortilla chips and used them as shields, reflecting the Nacho Wizard's spicy attacks back at him. With one final cheesy blast, the Nacho Wizard was defeated, and the golden controller floated into their hands. Suddenly, they were zapped back into Zane's living room, sitting on the sofa, covered in cheese and frosting. The golden controller was nowhere to be seen. "Was that real?" Max asked, looking around. "I think so," Zane said, licking frosting off his sleeve. Just then, Zane's mom walked in. "Boys, you've been playing video games for hours. Time to turn it off and go outside." Max and Zane looked at each other and grinned. "Sure, Mom," Zane said. "But, you might want to avoid sitting on the sofa for a bit." And with that, the two best friends raced outside, ready for their next adventure, whether it was in the real world or the world of games. The end.